Hello students, welcome to my online class. In my previous video, I have started the lesson biological classification and I have explained you 5 kingdom classification as proposed by R.H. Whitaker. In this video, let me highlight you the first kingdom, kingdom Monera. Only after the invention of microscope, we understood that we are in a world of microorganisms. Millions of microorganisms will be present in a minute place of 1 square millimeter size. And diversity of these microorganisms is also immense. Kingdom Monera consists of unicellular prokaryotic organisms. They are made up of single cell. They are not visible to our naked eyes. And the cell do not have a nuclear membrane. That means the nucleoplasm and the cytoplasm get mixed up. The genetic material, the DNA, is not combined with the histone proteins to form chromosomes. And usually the DNA here will be circular. The unicellular organism, prokaryotic organisms, have the cells with a cell wall made up of polysaccharides and amino acids. They show different modes of nutrition. There are autotrophic organisms, there are heterotrophic organisms. Autotropism is a process where the organisms obtain their own food, whereas the heterotrophic organisms depend upon other organisms for food. In autotropism, again we have photosynthetically autotrophic and chemosynthetically autotrophic organisms. What are these mode of nutrition? What is their significance? What are the different types of organisms in the kingdom Monera? Even though they are visible, even we are not serious about them, our life on earth will be greatly influenced by these organisms. Remember, they are not in our world, we are in their world, because they originated on this earth much before the other organism originated. So, dear children, in this class, let me continue with the help of a PowerPoint presentation and explain you the characteristics of kingdom Monera and one interesting type of Monera, that is Archaebacteria. What are these Archaebacteria and how they are special type of Monerans? Interesting organisms they are. So let's go to the PowerPoint presentation. Friends, I hope myself and the slides are clearly visible and also audible. Kingdom Monera, the first one among the 5 kingdom classification. We know that kingdom Monera consists of organisms that are prokaryotes. Remaining four kingdoms, Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia, are eukaryotic. That means they have the cell. Inside the cell there is a nucleus. The nucleus will have nucleoplasm and have the genetic material. Whereas prokaryotes are the organisms which have the cell without a nucleus. When the nuclear membrane is absent, the nucleoplasm and the cytoplasm get mixed up. And in these prokaryotes, the genetic material DNA is naked. That means it is not summed up with the proteins to form chromosomes that are seen in other kingdoms. The first and foremost important property of kingdom Monera is they are prokaryotic. And they are unicellular, made up of single cells. In kingdom Monera, we see bacteria. Immediately we'll hear about bacteria. We are afraid of. They are disease-causing organisms. It's not totally correct, because there are various bacteria that are useful for us, which makes our life comfortable and convenient. Kingdom Monera consists of wide varieties of organisms that are present in every place on this earth. They are invisible, and our life is greatly influenced by these organisms, monerans. Bacteria, archaebacteria, and wide varieties of organisms are there. The uniformity is they are all unicellular and prokaryotic. They are the most abundant and present everywhere. A newborn baby, a just born baby, is totally bacteria free. On its body or inside the body, you do not find any bacteria. A child is born bacteria free. That is the protection we get in the mother's womb. Once born on this land, the bacteria start invading. So bacteria will be present on our body. One interesting data I will give you, children. In my mouth now, how many bacteria are present? or to say anybody's mouth. The total number of bacteria in my mouth now are equal to the total number of people on this earth now. Hope you got the logic. In a square millimeter size, you find millions of microorganisms. That means we are living in a world of microorganisms, and interestingly, until early 1900, we never knew about the presence of microorganisms. We knew that there are only plants and animals on this earth. Hence, only two kingdom classification existed. Only after invention of microscope, advancement in the technology of developing powerful microscopes, we started understanding more and more about the kingdom Monera. And immense diversity is also seen in case of these organisms. And they are present everywhere. These bacteria, which are of wide varieties, the classification is also of different type. Three types of classification is generally studied in case of bacteria. Number one, based on the shape of the cell, the bacterial cell, what shape it is, number one. Number two, mode of nutrition. And lastly, the method of staining gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Two types we study here. Based on the shape of the bacteria, we classify them as coccus bacteria or cocci bacteria, which are spherical in shape, ball-like. Don't imagine flat chapati-like. Imagine spherical, a ball. Coccus bacteria. Rod-shaped bacteria are called bacillus bacteria. Comma-shaped, pointed at one end, comma-shaped Vibrium or Vibrio bacteria, and spring-like coiled bacteria, spirillum, spiral bacteria or spirillum bacteria. So, based on the shape of the cell, bacteria are classified into coccus bacteria, bacillus bacteria, Vibrillium bacteria and spirillum bacteria. You can see this diagram. Coccus bacteria, bacillus bacteria, Vibrioni bacteria and spirali bacteria. This is one type of classification. The another type of classification is based on the mode of nutrition. How do they obtain food? If they produce their own food, they are called autotrophic. If they depend on other organisms for food, they are called heterotrophic bacteria. In autotrophic bacteria, again we find two types. photosynthetically autotrophic and chemosynthetically autotrophic. The similarity is both produce their own food, but the method is different. Photosynthetically autotrophic bacteria, they produce their own food by using solar energy. They have the solar energy trapping molecules called chlorophyll A. So they can convert the inorganic simple molecules, carbon dioxide and water, into a complex utilizable form of organic molecule called glucose. This method of photosynthesis is also seen in many members of other kingdom and which is very common in kingdom Plantae. What is this chemosynthetically autotropism? There are many bacteria in the soil, on the rocks, inside the water, which are responsible for chemical reactions. The minerals present inside the soil, such as iron, sulfur, they are oxidized with the help of these bacteria, causing chemical reactions. We find the coloration of the soil, reddish colored soil or the rocks, because of iron oxide resulted by the chemical reaction of these chemosynthetic bacteria. Sulfide bacteria are also present, which result in brownish soil. And you have already studied in your lower classes the nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen in the atmosphere cannot be directly used by the plants and animals. It has to be first fixed in the soil. The process of conversion of nitrogen into nitrates and nitrites, the nitrification process, takes place by nitrifying bacteria. These chemosynthetic bacteria, helpful in recycling of nutrients, they help the organisms to obtain these nutrients present in the soil. It makes the nutrients in the soil a form that can be used by the plants and animals. Bacteria are classified based on the mode of nutrition, autotrophic and heterotrophic. In autotrophic bacteria, we find photosynthetic and chemosynthetic bacteria. The second type, heterotrophic bacteria, are the major varieties. They are also parasites. They are also saprophytes. They depend on other organisms to obtain food. The bacteria which act upon the dead and decaying material, causing recycling of nutrients present in the dead body to enter into the soil. Saprophytic bacteria. The bacteria which enters in our body and cause various illness are parasitic bacteria. There are some friendly bacteria present in our body which help in various metabolic activities in our body. They are symbiotic bacteria. All these varieties, symbiotic bacteria, parasitic bacteria, and decomposing bacteria or saprophytic bacteria fall under heterotrophic bacteria. Dear children, you have to write these points carefully in your notebook. Kingdom Monera consists of a group of very interesting organisms called archaebacteria. Archaea refers to ancient type. Among the bacteria, the older forms are the archaebacteria. Studying archaebacteria is very interesting because their lifestyle is like that. Archaebacteria are special bacteria because they live in some of the most harsh habitats and hostile condition. You look at that ecosystem, you will say no life can be present there. Such a harsh condition is there. Why we are searching for life on moon or other planets? Because archaebacteria on this earth are present in such a condition where there is no availability of oxygen, where the temperature, the pH is so harsh, no living organism can survive in such condition. When archaebacteria can survive in such condition, there may be such type in other planets also. That is our logic. So, archaebacteria live in habitats which are very harsh, such as bacteria living in highly salty area. Highly salty areas. In any cell you put there, the water goes out, they die immediately. The area is highly salty, more salty than the pickle. Bacteria living in such highly salty areas are called halophils. Halophils are the archaebacteria which live in extremely salty areas. Any other forms you put in such water or soil, exosmosis takes place, the cell shrinks and the organism collapses immediately. But there are archaebacteria which can survive there comfortably and reproduce. They have got adapted to even such condition during course of evolution for millions of years. Archaebacteria that live in extremely salty areas are called halophils. Second type, there are bacteria which live in hot springs. Many areas are there where there are hot water coming out. Even in India we find the most popular is Yellowstone National Park of America. Hot water is coming out continuously as a large fountain. The water is boiling of 200 degrees Celsius. Can any organism live there? No. But there are archaebacteria types which can even survive comfortably in such hot waters. Such organisms are present even in the deep sea where hot water is coming out from lava of volcano. They are called thermoacidophils. Thermoacidophils. The archaebacteria which can live in hot springs or deep sea water are called thermoacidophils. Don't imagine other type of lives in such condition. Third, methanogens. They are the bacteria living in marshy areas. Marshy areas where there is a bad smell. Such areas are generally seen in stagnant water where sewage enters, in mangrove forest, estuaries where the river water joins the sea water. And the marshy area is also present in paddy fields. In such areas, the archaebacteria survives. They are called methanogens. Methanogens, because they result in the formation and release of methane gas. These methanogens that are present in marshy areas are also present in the rumen stomach of the cattle, like cows and buffaloes. So the cow dung contains large amount of methanogens. Cow dung slurry is made, mixed with water, dumped, collected in a well. These methanogens act upon the cellulozoic material present in the dung slurry, resulting in the formation of biogas or gobar gas. So, archaebacteria, what is the speciality? Speciality number one, they live in harsh habitats such as extremely salty areas, which are called halophils, hot water springs or deep sea water, which are called thermoacidophils. They live in marshy areas, which are called methanogens. This is one of the speciality of archaebacteria. The another speciality of archaebacteria bacteria is, they have a different type of cell wall on their cell. Archaebacteria differ from other bacteria in having a different cell wall structure or different cell membrane structure, and this feature is responsible for survival in extreme conditions. Yes, they have a specialized cell membrane and specialized cell wall. This specialized cell membrane and cell wall help them to live in such harsh conditions. So, archaebacteria are the organisms, they are a type of bacteria. They are the members of the kingdom Monera. Eubacteria or cyanobacteria or blue-green algae are the another type of Monera, which we will study in the next video. Dear children, from examination point of view, these definition, classification of bacteria based on their shape and mode of nutrition, and types of archaebacteria based on their habitats are very important points from examination point of view, both theory as well as NEET. So I suggest you please write down these points and the definitions. Understand and remember. I will continue the class where we will be studying Kingdom Monera and completing the study of Kingdom Monera. Until then, please take very good care of yourself, children. God bless you. Thank you.